You are now listening to
Likely to Dispute.
hosted by Monkas, Reed, and Tyler.
How's everybody doing? It's Cevan, aka the Monkas. Join with me today, as always, is Reed and Tyler. And this is episode 32 of Likely to Dispute.
We have a very special double release this week. Given that it's about the quarter mark of this season, we wanted to release a mid-season power rankings update. Take what we took, or take what we said before the season, taking all the information that's happened over the first 4 weeks, overperformance, underperformance, breakouts, busts, all that good stuff, and update our power rankings with all the stuff that we know now. Give you guys a fresh view of who we think are the scariest teams in the league moving forward. But before that, we're passing it right back to host Monkas for some Monkas Trivia for the first time ever on the pod.
Before you do that, you should check your phone.
I was just gonna say we have a trade pending. Did you really save that to do that during the pod?
This got
Yeah.
negotiated like 6 or 7 hours ago.
Okay, I guess we're gonna make this episode even longer now because the trade just occurred. I'll introduce the trade here.
We wanted the live reaction.
Yeah.
The live reaction is that this is a terrible trade for Cevan. Cevan acquired Trey Benson, recent IR placee Trey Benson, Justin Fields, and a 2026 fourth round pick from Tyler, who received the great Jeremy McNichols in return, as well as Cevan's 2028 first round pick, his 2027 second round pick, and Sumner's 2026 third round pick. So I guess I'll take the interim host here and I'll say, Tyler, obviously not a whole lot needs to be said here for the why on your part, but from your side, how are you benefiting from this? Give us a quick rundown.
Well, I wasn't originally looking to shop Fields right away, but I know a few people in the league were interested in him. So I sent out roughly the same offer to a few people, and Cevan was the only one we wanted to negotiate from there, and that's where we ended up. Trey Benson, I wasn't looking to do either, but with him being on the IR, I could see the Cardinals working him back pretty slowly after he returns because I don't think the Cardinals will be good the rest of the year. And at that point, Trey Benson will have been in the league 2 years, and I'm pretty skeptical that he would just get the job in year 3. James Conner will be back at some point, I think, unless he calls it quits because of his injury. So for me, it was just acquiring draft capital, even if that capital is in 2027 and 2028, the two big picks that I acquired.
Mm-hmm. And Cevan, from your perspective, picking up 2 players for a host of draft capital.
Yeah.
What's in it for you here?
Yeah, I want to say McNichols was not a part of the negotiations. I just had to drop someone, and I told Tyler I would just throw in the person I would drop. But aside from that, this is another white whale, long overdue. Been talking about Trey Benson since probably before the start of our inaugural season. So good to get him on the squad. And then obviously it was mostly about Fields. I don't personally think I'm the we all know how we feel about Fields. When he's on the field, he is good for fantasy. It's just the questions are not if he's going to be on the field long term, short term with injuries, things like that. But it prevents, in the short term at least, it prevents from having a hole in bye weeks, which I can now start Fields this week with Penix being out. And for future, you guys like to say Penix has bad knees. If Penix got injured or if Drake May had another concussion like he did last year, then, I don't need to talk you guys up on having 3 starting quarterbacks. We all know it's good. So yeah, it was really my last draft capital asset wise that I can, with any significance that I can ship out. And after losing Malik and, Drake's solidified the QB1 position for me, happy for that. But Penix isn't a lineup lock. And so being able to either, play the matchups with them two or Fields proves this during the season, he's matchup proof, then we're good there. So I think it helps in the short term with potential long term upside to see a higher return on investment. But at the end of the day, we both got what we wanted. I think I did, and I'm happy.
Savon, is it fair to say you have wrapped up your panic moves this week?
Yes.
Good. Yeah. I don't necessarily see this as a loss for Savon because, like, I understand the why, but I just don't think this is something that he needed to do right now, from my perspective. Not to mention that as he mentioned, he basically traded the last real draft capital that he has. The next most valuable pick he has, I believe, is his 2028 second now. So he's got a team that is completely out of ammo to trade for draft picks for players at this point. He acquired a player that in Justin Fields, who has been a hot topic in our group chat over the last couple of days, but I'm not of the belief that he is going to be the Jet starter or any starter past this year. So he's looking at a 1 year quarterback, which a major upgrade over Penix. Like, I don't think that's even a question that Fields on the field is better than Penix in your fantasy lineup. So no doubt about that. Benson, obviously on IR right now. Who knows what the role looks like when he gets back? I don't necessarily think James Conner is going to retire, but I would be very surprised to see him return to a workhorse role after this, given his age. So I don't mind the Benson acquisition, but I don't know. Obviously, I was one of the teams in the running for Justin Fields, and for all the reasons I just ran down, I was not even willing to counter the initial offer that escalated into what you just saw. So I think it's a big win for Tyler. Continuing to control first round picks in the future will put him in a very nice spot, potentially as soon as next year. Getting rid of a player that I think will only help him this season, which he's not looking for help, and then selling. I don't want to say high because he just went on IR, but 1 week after he gets the starting gig, selling Trey Benson is, I think, a major win for him. So I don't think it's a bad trade for either side. Value wise, I'd say it's probably pretty equal. Probably maybe a slight edge to Tyler, but when you're Cevan and you're pushing for a championship, you're willing to overpay in certain spots to get players that you think can help you. So overall, a fun trade. Going to make this episode really long here to start
Or
off with 10 minutes of trade talk.
All right.
Cevan,
Well,
Monkas
yep.
Trivia.
All right. Well, for the first time, I will be hosting trivia. Um, Tyler's been the host the last two. He handicaps the points. He is not willing to give them out, and we're going to have a boatload of opportunities to score points here. So at no point will anybody be out of this. I've got 7 questions prepared, um, all occurring in the last month or so, ever since the first Thursday night game to now. Everything that's happened in our league specifically is on the table. So with that being said, you guys are going to text me your answers. Um, if there's silence, I will fill it. Don't you worry. Getting into question number 1. This is going to be a 2-point question, but the answer has to be correct. It's not going to be who's closest. So, question number 1. In week 1, there was a very narrow victory. Can you name me the 2 teams in that narrow victory? And the bonus point is if you know the matchup, I need both names of the matchup and the score difference in the tight victory. I've got one answer from Reed.
can I give
And
you, wait,
what's
you want the point difference, but can I give you a range or do I have to give you like an exact?
you got to give me an exact number.
I already got it right, so you better get it right.
It's very memorable. Okay, I got both answers. 2-point question, and you both got it. 2 points awarded. The answer was Ian and Rob in week 1. Rob pulled out the victory by .05. 1 yard either way would have, got the win for Ian or blah, blah, blah. So
I have second guessing the .05.
I
you
believe it
were at
was
first.
151.3 to 151.25, if I remember correctly.
I don't have the exact score, but
I think I should get a
that's,
bonus point for that.
well, I don't even have that answer. So
Primetime matchup that week.
yes, it was. All right, 2 points awarded. Good job, fellas. Getting on to question number 2. Another 2-point question with a bonus. 2 people in the league have $99 in fab. I need you get 1 point per name right. Send me 2 names. And there's a bonus question. Aside from Reed, who has 0 fab, who has the lowest amount of fab? You get 1 point. And how much fab do they have? Whoever's closest gets that point. So I need
So there's 4 points here.
potentially, I need 3 names, 2 names for who's at 99, 1 name for who has the lowest amount of fab, and 1 number for how much that lowest player has. So up to 4 points here. Take your time. I know I mentioned it today. It was going to be 100, but those 2 people with 100 bid today, so couldn't do it.
I don't feel good about any of my answers, but that's fine.
Tyler has sent his answer. Waiting on Reed here. There we go. Tyler, you said you don't feel good?
No,
Okay.
So I'm looking for who has the lowest and what the number is.
Yep. And the number will be awarded a point right or wrong. It's just whoever's closest. All right, looks like I got answers from both of you. So the 2 people with 99 fab are Kay and Sumner. And it looks like Reed got both of those right. Tyler
Really?
got both of those. Nope, sorry. Kay and Sandy, not Sumner.
Okay.
So Reed gets 1 point. Tyler gets 0 for that.
I
The
said Schrader and
lowest.
Sumner, just for context.
Yeah, it was Kay and Sandy.
I
Sorry.
only knew it wasn't Schrader because we had the Ray Ray McLeod issue. And
Yeah,
I knew he got Ray Ray McLeod from that.
that is true. And then the lowest, Tyler said Trent. Reed said me. Reed gets a point. It was me, but the number is 12. Reed also gets a point because he said 35. Tyler said 50.
Who
So
the hell
that
did
is
you
a
spend fab on?
Juju.
uh, Juju, Casey Washington,
Bruh.
McNichols, Tyrod Taylor. Yeah. So yeah, that is 3 points for Reed and 0 for Tyler.
Yeah. Tough
Updated.
sledding.
What's up?
I just said tough sledding.
Yeah. Updated score. Reed is at 5 points. Tyler is at 2 points. And we're getting in to question number 3. Since the opening Thursday game, how many total trades have gone down in the league? And this does take into account the one that just happened. Just one number here, 1 point question. Whoever's closest. Got an answer from Tyler. Got an answer from Reed. Wow. I will say, one of you is way off. Like not even close.
Probably me.
No, you said Tyler said 4. Reed said 12. The answer is 5. 5? Only 5 trades have gone down
I'm confused.
since.
Are you
thought
sure
12?
that feels too low?
That feels right.
No,
Because
that was
I've made 2. Cevan has made 2. And then the one,
that is the 5th trade.
oh, okay.
I can promise. I'm even double checking now. September 14th would have been the first one. That was you and Sandy, and then Robert and Camden, Schrader and Reed, me and Schrader, me and Tyler.
Okay.
So yeah, good job, Tyler. 1
Thank you.
point there.
Woohoo.
There we go. Getting into question number 4. Another 4 points available for this one.
God.
Okay. Okay, I'll just read it. Who had the highest scoring week? How many points were scored? just the closest for that one, who had the lowest scoring week, and how many points were scored. So I need two names, one highest, one lowest, two numbers, one highest, one lowest. And we're just
Feel-
taking the closest here.
I feel really good about one of these.
Okay. I got I got all four of Reed's answers.
Just sent you mind.
And it's going to be a clean sweep here. I do not know. Reed almost got it down to the decimal. Um, kind of disturbing. No, sorry, Reed, you were three off. But the answer was Cam Thorn, 195.45, and then Schrader 71. So Reed's going to get all 4 points there, and Tyler is going to get 1 point.
For what?
So you said Camden correctly.
All right, I put the week too.
I don't care about the week.
Come
I do
on.
not care about the week.
Cevan doesn't give
So,
out pity points.
no. Another 4 for Reed, another 1 for Tyler. But don't worry, Tyler. You've got a lot of opportunity for points here.
All
Updated
right.
scoring through 4 rounds. Reed is at 9, Tyler is at 4, and we're moving on to question number 5. This one I thought was, just stay with me. I think it was I think it's a unique question. I'm gonna try and I couldn't find the words on text, so maybe it'll come out of my mouth better. Pause. Wow. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. There are 3 people who are tied with the most top 5 players in total points per position. Can you name me the three league members that have 3 people total amongst quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end in the top 5 of their total fantasy points? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. Do we get to
Okay.
any extra points for naming who?
Yes, that's what I need. I need the three, not the player, the 3 managers that have the players in the top 5. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you get
Yes.
1 point per answer, so a total of 3. And this wasn't even the question that I thought was um, unique. I thought this was a different question. It's the last question that's the unique one. Got an answer from Tyler?
Feel good about 2 of the 3.
Yeah, I have 2 locked down that I know for sure. Just a second. Let me go through all the teams in my head real quick.
Ba-da-da-da-dum.
We know it's not Malik Neighbors.
Wah, 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 wah.
Did you see he has other ligament damage?
Does he?
Yeah, but it's
No,
not.
I'm gonna be honest. When I was watching it live and they showed the replay, it didn't look as bad as most do. Like
I
it didn't.
agree.
So I was hopeful for like a knee sprain or like even just like a MCL sprain or something, but nah, he tore that. He tore that hole. But on the bright side, I mean, I never want Malik to get hurt. I would rather it happen now than like the end of the season, because then he would miss like next year.
Did Reed send you his answer yet?
I'm typing right now.
Still, yeah, he's still typing.
Mm. I feel like there's 2 teams that I have in mind that I know there's 2, but I can't think of who the third one would be.
hmm I really wanted this question to just be who is the one person with 4, but it was a 3-way
Oh, I'd
tie.
be so satisfied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't need the players, but thanks
I
for
know. I
sending
just
them.
wanted to flex that I knew 2 of them, but I couldn't think of the third one.
Okay. Neither of you got all three,
Damn.
but neither of you got two, but you each got one. Reed, you got yourself. You also guessed Sandy and Cam Thorn. Those were wrong answers.
There's no way
Ty-
that's wrong.
it's
Puka,
it's
Amon Ra, and James Cook are all top 5 at their position.
wait, let me look. What question are we on? Oh,
The
five.
one you just asked.
I didn't even think of that. I
Is
interpreted it as like unique positions.
wait, let me just verify. Did I miss? James Cook, Amon-Ra, Puka. Okay, so there's okay, I'll get this. I'll give you you each get one more because that makes a four-way tie.
Well, we
Well, he
already,
just got one of the answers.
Oh yeah, that's true.
yeah.
I guess I butchered this one.
Just tell us what the answers were, because I'm
Well,
interested to
well,
hear who they were.
Cam's so you got two then. But the sorry, the answer it's well now it's four. It's you, it's me, it's Ian, and it's Reed.
Who does Ian have?
Ian has the quarterbacks.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about the double up. Stupid.
Yeah, he has the quarterbacks and he has
Ekbuka?
no.
Because it's not his
Am
running
I
backs.
tweaking?
It's not Nico and Brian Thomas.
I think I meant to type Cam and I typed oh Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones. It's all three
God, that
quarterbacks.
is ridiculous.
Yeah,
That's gross.
I hate
that's
this.
on me. Um, either way, Reed still gets 2 points.
Is Sandy not right? Was Hertz not top 5 right now?
Um,
Or was Kraft not
no,
top 5?
he's not. He's seventh.
Oh, okay. I had
Did you
Hertz, Kraft, and Bijan, and I thought Sandy was locked in too.
Yeah,
did you
Tyler.
say? Go
Oh
ahead.
wait, yeah, you got Thorn too.
I think I went 3 for 3 because you didn't
No,
mention Rob, did you?
no, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. Rob has
No,
Jawan at tight end.
Is he
He
still
ha
top 5?
he is. He has Pat. This is total points at QB
oh,
and
and
Quinn
Quentin.
and Quinn Johnson at 4 for the receivers.
Oh, did I just biffed this whole thing then?
It's all right.
So there's really five.
Yeah. In that case,
So
but I went 3 for 3 in that case.
yeah, and
It's
so did
interesting too because I locked in Sandy and Cam, and then I actually typed in Cevan and then deleted him and wrote myself. So I was a win-win there, but I thought for sure Sandy was it.
okay. So this is just a complete biff by me, fellas. It ended up being five. Tyler gets two. Tyler gets three, and Reed gets two. So I'm sorry. I'm ass at my job.
You're good.
I double checked, but I double checked incorrectly. But here we are. Reed at 11, Tyler at 7. Going into question number 6. This is a good one.
Wait,
Just need the
how is
what's up?
Reed a correct answer? Who does he have in the top 5?
Hunter Henry and Jake Ferguson.
Yeah,
And then who's the third one?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Garrett Wilson,
Garrett
wide
Wilson.
receiver
yeah,
5 in
Garrett,
total points
sorry.
right now.
Yep,
Yeah.
okay.
Hunter Henry, what a pull.
You're welcome. Jake Ferguson, tight end, dark horse tight end one is actually looking pretty good right now.
He's got 14 more points than the next highest tight end.
I know. It's crazy work. Enough about that. This is a 1 point question. Just need the closest answer. I will say that the correct answer includes decimals, a little hint. I did the math, uh, so might be sketchy, but what is the exact league average in points scored through 4 weeks? Total cumulative, all 12 averages added together divided by 12 gave me this number.
I'll just guess the average from last year and hope it's right.
Tyler is locked in. Reed
Yeah.
is locked in. One is a point off, and the other is 10 off. I will say Reed coming in at 139. I told him there's decimals, and he didn't send me any. So that sucks for him.
Wait.
Nope. Sucks for him.
139.45.
Okay. and Tyler came in at 128.95. Correct answer is 129.62.
Let's go. Less than a
So,
Wow, down
point.
10 points from last year so far.
yeah,
Week 1 was
um,
brutal.
It was.
it probably has something to do with the kicking rule, if we're being honest. But it doesn't matter. Good job, Tyler. You are down 11 to 8 going in to the final round. All right. Nobody has started the same lineup all 4 weeks of the season, but there's been one team that has only made one substitution. Other than that, they have had the same 9 players in their lineup for 3 consecutive weeks, only having one player gone. What I need from you, uh, who the team is, and if you can name the player swapped, you get 3 bonus points.
That's a really gross question.
Mm.
But I feel good about my answer.
Okay, Tyler submitted. Reed tried to jump the gun,
I did try
but
to jump the gun. My bad.
but he can redeem himself.
Hardest part is thinking of all the teams in the league when you're trying to rifle through that.
Yeah. I thought this one was creative. I went through every single matchup and looked at every single player. Only one team has had the same lineup for even 3 matchups, but week 1, that person had just one different player week 1, and then swapped him out. Been the same ever since.
Oh, then I already know my answer's wrong.
Well, I thought I said that, to be fair. I'll give you another
No,
chance
I know, but
if
I
you
don't.
want to switch.
No, it's fine.
Sorry, did you said there was a second part to the question other than the team?
If you can name the player swap, you get 3 extra points. Because that's a hard pull. You're sticking with Tyler, even though you know it's wrong, and I'm telling you it's wrong.
I mean, I already submitted the answer. It's all good.
I submitted an answer too and then unsent the message, so feel free.
That is true. He did do that.
Okay, I'll resubmit one.
Can I get a point and a half if I know who went in but don't know who came out?
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, really just need a manager and just for shits and gigs, the player they swapped.
I don't feel confident about this.
Yeah, this was a tough question. Do you guys want one more chance or just call it good?
Are you
I'll
saying
let,
that I got it wrong?
You both are wrong.
No, just tell us.
Okay. The answer is me. Week 1, I started Mark Andrews. I swapped Kincaid, and my lineup's been the same ever since.
I guess I
interesting.
forgot about that because Malik Neighbors just tore his knee up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting though that only pretty much one team's been the exact same for the entire. Um,
Sounds like someone who's behind, someone who's lagging behind the cutting edge of lineup management.
yeah. All right. Well, that is all for Monkas Trivia. Winner 3-0 on trivia. Reed, you're gonna have to host next time. We need to give you a break from winning. Final score: Reed 11, Tyler 8. I did my best. Hopefully, um, it was well enough for you
Yeah.
guys.
It
It
was
was
good.
well enough. That works.
All right, time to get into the power rankings, updated a month into the season. This is going from our preseason rankings to our current rankings with, 4 game sample size and new information. We tried to do this um, from here on out, basically, uh, who would score the most points um, for the rest of the season. So it's updated. We took some time, looked over our previous thoughts and what we think now, and this is where we landed. Probably do this, or we will be doing this again in another month, and so on and so forth until Camden or I win another championship. So Let's get on with the first team. First, we have Cam K. For me, he's going up. Seem to be by myself here. He's going up from 10 to 8th. Reed is going down from 6th to 9th, and Tyler going from 7th to 10th. So a little bit of a trend, the opposite directions. Just speak for myself. Um, I like some of the pieces a lot more now than I did when we did this originally in the starting lineup. Tet has grown on me a lot. Jonathan Taylor has been more. We always knew he was good, but he's been way more than expected, especially that whole Colts offense. And then really Jalen Waddle with the Tyreek situation. Um, he's kind of underperformed, but I mean, getting all that bad stuff out early is what I'm projecting. Reed, I'll go to you. You have a a quarter drop in rankings for Cam K.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me here is I think the fact that Stroud has proved to be, at least again, to start this year, closer to 2024 than his rookie season. Kittle has been on IR, but expected back, hopefully soon. Jameson Williams has turned out to be kind of another bust in the lineup, and Kyron's starting to finally lose some work to Blake Corum. So overall, I still think he's very much a solid team. It's more so that I had other teams that I feel better about than I think his team crashed and burned to move down per se, because obviously it is not. He's sitting here at 2-2, getting Jaden Daniels back this week. But yeah, so no strong feelings as it may indicate going down 3 spots. I just feel better about some other teams that jumped him.
Yeah, well said. Tyler, what about you?
Same thoughts, and the starting lineup is solid enough, but if there's any injuries or several buys in a week, that's really going to hurt him. There's not much there on the bench to provide reinforcements, so that's why I'm at 10.
Yeah, the bench is still a serious
Yep.
problem, and now that bye weeks are starting, like he already had to deal with this pre-bye weeks. He's Kittle and Jaden Daniels both getting hurt. Godwin debuting in week 4. Like the biggest topic of his episode in this summer was what is he going to do if he has an injury, and he's had a few of them. And the fact that he's still here sitting at 2-2 is a really good thing. But he's going to have a lot of bye weeks to manage, as everybody on his team will go on bye. Believe it or not, they will go on bye at some point. So he's going to have to kind of manage that, or try to make some trades here to bolster the depth.
Yeah, well said. Moving on to Cam Thorn, probably our biggest riser. Um, Team looks elite, scoring a lot of points. I moved him from 6th to 2nd. Reed moved him from 8th to 5th. And Tyler from 10th all the way up to 3rd. So I think the big story, I think I can probably speak for all of us here, is his receiver duo uh, is the best in the league currently. They score a lot of points every week. And with him having those 3 starting quarterbacks, um, he's able to, play the matchups there, and he's not getting killed by his quarterbacks, even if, they're never going to have like huge ceiling games. Their floor isn't incredibly low to where um, they're putting up really bad weeks. And then like Tyler Warren, I know he's been starting double tight end and Laporta hasn't been great, but Tyler Warren looks like the truth. Um, Debo, who we all pretty much wrote off, he's wide receiver 10 right now. That includes half of his games with Marcus Mariota. Um, and then his running back room is good as well. He's got a really solid team. Tyler, any other thoughts from you?
No, you pretty much summed it all up there. Yeah, the biggest reason I moved him up so much is because I was doubting the quarterbacks pretty hard, but he's, like you said, been able to play the matchups. So his team looks pretty solid overall. Um, he looks good going forward. I like his team.
Yeah, I
Reed?
mean, obviously the biggest riser from the first 4 weeks of this season, the league's top scorer, given that it was somebody that 2 of the 3 of us had as a bottom half team in our preseason power rankings. And like we talked about, he's basically like the anti-Ian. Everybody except his quarterback looks really good right now, but the quarterbacks, can they maintain enough of a floor to support the rest of his lineup? But at the same time, I also think, I have him the lowest here. I have him at fifth. And again, not a slight on his team. Like he scored more than I could have possibly imagined him. But you have to factor in the idea that again, his quarterbacks aren't giving him ceiling. Debo has been solid, yet long season. He has a heel injury right now. Laporta hasn't been great, and while DK Metcalf's overall numbers look good, I'm still not a huge believer there. So I do think he still has some questions to answer. At 4 games is not a full season by any means, but he's definitely not somebody that I want to see right now. I mean, he's the only guy to beat me so far this year, and some belt was to ass that week. So we'll see how it looks moving forward. I still have him as comfortably a playoff team as of now, but I'm not buying fully into the hype just yet.
Mm, some bulletin board material, Camden, if you're listening to this.
Week 12.
There we go. All right. Moving on to myself. This was done pre Justin Fields. Probably would stay the same either way. Maybe fluctuate a spot depending on thoughts. But I have myself dropping from fourth to fifth, Reed from fifth to sixth, Tyler from third to fifth. Big storyline here. Malik Neighbors out for the season. Um, just speaking for myself, I think this week dishing out two firsts and a second and a third, I think, to kind of replace the blow at quarterback and another wide receiver with Worthy. I think hopefully that works in my favor. Also, the Jake Browning thing is not working well for any Bengals. So T. Higgins has not been good at all either. So hopefully the trades I made this week can help. But being 3-1, I'm in a good spot. I feel good about my team. Reed, I'll throw it back to you.
Yeah, the wide receiver room minus T. Higgins is very attractive, but then you again losing Malik Neighbors puts a huge blow on that. I mean, there's just no way you can replace that really in the season. But at the end of the day, the depth is still incredible at the wide receiver position. He's got two capable tight ends. He's going to have one disgusting week at running back when both of his running backs have a bye, and he'll probably just take an L that week. But at the same time, Fields is absolutely an upgrade the rest of season over Penix. Gives him two probably top 12 options. And again, if this is done pre-trade, I don't know how much he would or wouldn't move up or down. But again, another team that I feel like for me, my sixth team, there's a noticeable tier drop after my sixth team, which is him. I think the top 6 teams are very much in a tier of their own as far as the danger to play them at this moment. And I expect that to continue to be a difficult matchup moving forward, which I will see next week in week 6.
Yes, you will. Tyler, what about you?
Yeah, you guys pretty much got it all. It's mostly a Malik Neighbors thing. Otherwise, you would be higher. You can't start T. Higgins confidently each week. I mean, you will because
I
he's,
have to.
yeah, but
I don't know. Do you know? I mean, if you start Marv, Diggs, Worthy, and Rome, like it basically comes
Well, yeah,
down to
sorry.
Higgins or Diggs.
Yeah, this week I'm saying I have to because Rome's out. But
Do
yes,
you though? Because you could start Kincaid and Andrews, Worthy,
yeah, but
Diggs, and Marv.
or Darren Waller.
Please do that.
Do I have to? No. Is it probably the best decision? Yes, but I don't know. That's a decision for me. Um, yeah, I mean, it'll get figured out. But yeah, okay. Sorry. Is it we're good about talking about me? You guys don't want to talk about me anymore?
I'm good.
Nothing to talk about an uninspiring squad like this.
Dang, that's so sad. Moving on to Deshaun. For me, he moved down from 2 to 3. Reed, he moved up from 2 to 1. And Tyler, he moved down from second to fourth. Big story for Deshaun is he's just not getting wins. He's scoring above the league average. Um, uh, Something I'll state is 2 through 6 in scoring are within, I think, 6 points or so. So, uh, outside of Camden, he's way above everybody. but I believe it's like me, Reed, Rob, Ian, and Deshaun are all within 6 points. So for some of those people to be 1-3 and some to be 3-1, it just says a lot about, your points against. Um, so he's been very lucky in that aspect. Outside of Lamb, that's the only one he's missing. But as we talked about in the offseason, he had really good depth at receiver, so he's able to, ease the blow and scrape by in a sense on paper until Lamb gets back. But I don't think we've lost confidence in Deshaun's team. It's just more he's been unlucky in the win-loss column. Uh, Tyler, thoughts from you?
Yeah, I'm pretty nervous about Ashton Genty. For all I need to see another game. No, it doesn't have to be quite the same level as he had last week, but I'm not convinced that he is an RB1 the rest of the year. Chris Olave at this point, I think he's a little bit overrated. I know he gets targets out the wazoo, but it's been pretty modest fantasy production. And then, um, yeah, the quarterbacks. I mean, Caleb's been great, but Bo Nix and Geno Smith, that's been difficult for him to pick the matchups between those two. So if they're as inconsistent as they have been, then that's going to be very annoying to try and figure out each week.
Reed?
Yeah, I can't say that I gained a ton of confidence in him. I think it just mostly stayed still. The Caleb Williams breakout is real. The rushing upside continues to be there, and that's really what he needed. Bo Nix, I think we all were on the same page as Bo Nix was probably not going to be a top 7 or 8 quarterback, but a back end quarterback one, and he's done that. Genty had his first big game. A-Chain is still that guy. Lamb probably only out 1 or 2 more weeks if they didn't put him on IR. Like I've continued to feel good about his team. My biggest issue is that he, like a couple of other top end teams, is basically out of draft capital at this point to upgrade his team. So I think as long as everything stays in place, as we talked about, he can absorb blows better than most teams as far as injuries, as he has with his best receiver. But I play him this week, and I'm not looking forward to it. He still has a really good team. He has a really high ceiling and a really high floor, and I have no doubt that the wins will start flowing in here for him. Despite playing not some of the top teams, he's going to have to continue to put together good performances to get through the teams he does have left to play.
Yes, very, very well laid out from us, fellas. Let's get on to Ian, who we all have dropping signs of a major concern. We all had him in first. Me and Tyler moved him to sixth. Reed dropped him to fourth. Um, yeah, the thing with Ian's team is Tyler kind of hit or I don't know if it was Tyler or Reed, but one of you two hit the nail on the head
It was
talking
me.
about the rookie running backs. Travion has been in the lineup multiple times, um, and I believe he started him for 2 weeks and then has benched him the last 2 weeks. Travion has not broken out yet, which I don't know if it probably was unexpected, but um, Hampton has the Najee injury was huge. Uh, he is definitely an anchor there because what we perceive Chase Brown to be, he has been the exact opposite. His inefficiencies have shown, and that is not good. Obviously, the big kicker here, uh, Reed jinxed Lamar, and now he's going to be more than likely at least missing this week. Um, Other things, I'll just keep going. Cooper Cup really been nothing. Brian Thomas Jr. unfortunately has to receive passes from not Mac Jones. David Njoku has been playing a lot of snaps, but not doing anything with them. Igbuka's been great. Nico's been mid. So a lot of up and down, even at the quarterback position. Um, at the quarterback position. Am I
Uh,
lying to myself?
yeah, no, you're not. But I also want to point out that I was the one that said that it might be a slow start for him given how much he was investing in youth at the running back position, which long term still feels like a good bet. But it would not have, I said it in the episode, it would not have surprised me if he started out slow, and he has. I still have not lost confidence in his team. he's somehow is replacing Lamar Jackson with Daniel Jones, who has played just as good from a fantasy perspective, which is wild. But the biggest issue for him is his two big pass catchers have not been great, and his quarterbacks can cover up issues, they're supposed to cover up issues for his other shakier spots. His quarterbacks cannot cover up issues of his top two receivers performing like wide receiver 20 for Nico Collins ish, and then wide receiver 40 for Brian Thomas. So I still have no doubt that his team will continue to put up points as he has. Again, he's right in that thick of people who's basically the second highest scorer in the league. But at the same time, I don't think his receivers will continue to produce this way, or at least for the sake of my redraft team, I hope they don't continue to perform this way. And his quarterbacks are nearly guarantees. So I have no doubt that he will continue to score points. I just have a little bit less confident in his non-quarterback positions than I was before.
Yes. Tyler?
Ian's team has some of the players that have generally raised some of the more prevalent yellow and red flags, guys that have been talked about at length at this point in the fantasy season, and Chase Brown and Brian Thomas. And I, I yeah, I ranked them six like you did, Cevan, and that's mostly because I'm not as big of a believer that these guys can turn it around at some point. And I know we talked about it on the Week 5 preview, but David Njoku starting at tight end is really rough. Cooper Cup, I know I was in on him at the beginning of the year, but he has not looked that great. So I have Ian's team at the middle of the pack right now.
Yeah, just kind of to touch off what you said, like I'm going to use Jamar Chase just as an example. Like going into the year, he had he had expectations that, his ceiling is wide receiver one overall. And I am with you in saying, while I don't think like Nico and BTJ are going to be this the rest of the season, I also don't believe they're going to be what their perceived expectations were going into the year. If that makes sense.
I don't think you're wrong by that, but I also think that it's a really short time frame here to write off two players who have had
I'm not writing them off.
1,200 yards. No, it's to say that they can't do that anymore. Who had 1,200 yards in 2023 and then 2024 for Brian Thomas Jr. So I'm not saying that if the draft, like if you had a redraft today, you would take them in the same spot, but I don't think there's any way that I would say no. They're definitely not going to be top 12 receivers the rest of the way.
Well, to me specifically with Nico and BTJ, I think maybe not an expectation, but I think top five was obviously in both of the range of outcomes,
Hmm.
and I don't think that's in their
That's
range
fair.
about. Yeah, like mid wide receiver two, back end wide receiver one, sure, but I don't think they personally have top five ceiling anymore. So
Savon,
just
let's take a quick Cooper Cup victory lap. Victory lap. We knew
well,
we knew he was toast.
yeah, Sean McVay told us he was toast, and that's all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
But you know who's not toast? Mini Justin Jefferson is what they're calling Torrey Horton there. First he was Jerry Rice, now he's Justin Jefferson.
What
So
what? We're not even talking about Torrey Horton.
Go to the next
I know
slide.
he
Yeah, get out of here. We don't need you to slurp your own team anymore.
okay. Getting on to Big Reed. Uh Drop, maintain, and improve. I've got him going from third to fourth. Reed has himself staying pat at third, Tyler from fourth to second. From my point of view, the two big things that both affect each other. Joe Burrow out for the year.
Mm,
Um,
not the year, but probably most of the fantasy regular season. They're targeting a mid-December comeback, which would be like the fantasy playoffs.
okay, well, Joe Burrow out for 3/4 of the fantasy season, which you need him for. Um, and directly that affects Jamar Chase. Um, and yeah, the Jake Browning experience is not going well. We're in similar situations running back wise. We're banking on two people, and if that goes south, then it could get ugly quick. But outside of, Jamar Chase and um, Joe Burrow, I'm liking the roster. You got two tight ends, and it looks like you got them both in this week. They've
London's
both
on
been
bye.
elite. Um, And I am going to victory lap that we're 4 weeks in, and Jake Ferguson and Hunter Henry are elite fantasy options. So, short and sweet from me. Reed, talk about yourself.
You didn't even mention what we talked about last night.
I,
I'm adding a
I don't.
top 8 receiver in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, obviously it sucks losing a top 6 quarterback and then in that as well losing a top 3 receiver. But I think the rest of my roster can compensate for the time being. That was part of my move to get Derrick Henry was while I think Chuba has a longer shelf life. At least at the time I felt Henry gives me a higher ceiling. I don't know if that's true anymore after the Lamar injury, so we'll have to see. But at the end of the day, I've had a lot of performance from my wide receivers, which is what I was banking on. My running backs have been solid enough, which is what I was banking on. And then I don't want to say overperformance, but more performance than I was expecting from my tight ends, which is always a pleasant sight again when I'm starting Jake Browning this week, which I do think will get better. You have to consider who they've played. I do think the Bengals will be better than they have been, but definitely not the ceiling of any kind that I was looking at before. So I feel good. Rashee Rice is back in 2 weeks, which makes a huge difference for my lineup. And we'll see. I feel pretty much the same overall as I did before, with maybe a little bit less ceiling because of the Bengals.
Tyler, before you go, Reed, I want to ask you one question. Is there anything that can happen outside of injury that could get Jamar Chase benched on your team?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, again, I'm adding Rasheed in 2 weeks. So if I have Rasheed, Garrett, and Drake London, and then I'm picking between Keenan or Jawan Jennings, if one of those two is playing well and Jamar is still not, then yeah, I mean, I definitely could bench him, but it would have to be, again, continued performance like this, which I do think is likely to change, and continued positive performance from one of those two.
It would
So
be catastrophic for Jamar Chase to hit the bench. But
it just proves that no receiver is quarterback proof. I mean, the first 2 weeks of the year showed even Justin Jefferson has issues with bad quarterback play. Like there is no such thing as a quarterback proof wide receiver. No matter the system, no matter the player, like it just doesn't exist. So
yeah, sad. Tyler, thoughts on Reed's team?
Yeah, it was as simple as adding Derrick Henry and getting Rasheed in 2 weeks. I know he's trying to patch together the second quarterback spot, but I think that'll get figured out. And if not, he has been in the trade market, so easy enough for me to put him at 2.
I've still got 3 first round picks and 2 second round picks left. So if my plan here is, like I said, continue to let the Bengals try to see what happens and let the rest of the league play out as more teams start to lose. Hopefully the quarterback market develops to a price I'd be willing to pay. And at that point, if I need to, I'll make a move. If not, I'll just persevere until Burrow's back in the fantasy playoffs to make his grand re-entrance to my lineup
Wouldn't
with
that be
Jonathan Brooks.
wouldn't that be elite? Like the Bengals are somehow in the playoff hunt, and
That's my biggest worry
he
is
comes
that,
back week
yeah,
15.
my biggest worry is they're just straight ass for the rest of the year. And then I lose Jamar as a reliable starting piece, and they don't think it's worth it to bring Burrow back. And then both of them are just toast. Worst case right there.
Yeah.
And
Well,
AR is going to start a game for me this year. I'm calling it.
probably. All right,
In my week 18 matchup after the Colts have clinched a bye and AR starting in week 18.
that's the hope, I think. All right, let's get on to Big Rob's team. So Rob, uh, one of the biggest risers here. Me and Tyler again, both moving him from fifth to first. Reed moving him from fourth to second. He's another one. He's 500. He's right in that points for bubble with the five of us. Um, his team's been great. Uh, Quentin Johnson, probably the biggest story here. This looks like it's going to be the second week in a row he is starting QJ over Lad, which I am in support of. Jawan Johnson, acting quickly early in the season, trading for him, has been great considering he's been getting nothing from the Evan Ingram, Pat Fryermuth, Michael Mayer, whatever. And then his quarterbacks have been rocks. That was his biggest thing he needed in the offseason was two stable quarterbacks, and they both look like they've leveled up since in comparison to their previous couple years. So JSN as well has been great. Uh, RB2 really looks like the only guy sorry, a guy I think at least some of us liked in Tony Pollard.
Well, he has Bucky, but Bucky's probably not playing this week.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry. Bucky's great. Yeah, that's my bad. But pleasant surprise in Jalen Warren has pretty much replaced Tony Pollard, so um that's not even super relevant. But Tyler, I'll start with you here if you want to touch on Rob a little bit.
Yeah, his team is about as bulletproof as it gets. Quinn Johnston coming on is, like you said, probably one of the bigger storylines. So Rob's team is the team I'd be most scared to face. I actually wouldn't be that scared because I've already been losing. So it is what it is. But
You'll just accept it at that point.
yeah, if I was competing, that's the team I would not want to face.
Reed?
Yeah, this was really close with Deshaun and Rob. I could have flipped a coin and wouldn't fight it. Um, just a very good team. He's obviously got his low end QB1 and Pat, performing as he was supposed to, and the rest of his lineup. The JSN breakout was huge. We'll see what Jefferson looks like when McCarthy gets back. But overall, like top to bottom, a starting lineup is probably the best in the league. But the depth is a little scary. But he has some ammo. So again, 1 and 2 was a coin flip here for me, but definitely a team that I don't want to face again later in the year, as he will be my Week 14 game. So I hope I'm not fighting for a playoff spot.
That's tough.
I did already beat him though, for the record. Week 3.
Good. Well, from my perspective, going into this week, I think this is a good week to catch to have to face Rob personally. I think Jalen Warren, obviously, if Bucky misses, and Jalen Warren's on bye, so big for me, reinforced. Rob, belt on Sunday, mostly Monday, but yeah, let's get into Sandy's team. We've all got him moving up. A very pleasant surprise. We all had him at 11th. Again, me and Tyler going from 11th to 9th, and Reed going from 11th all the way up to 7th. Big story with Sandy. The players we were, somewhat lower on, aka like guys like Michael Pittman Jr., even Monty has been, well, outside of last week. He's been fine as an RB2. Jalen Hurts holding the quarterback down. Goff is a great QB2 to have. I think he's lower on the points for, let me look real quick. Yeah, he's in the bottom half in points for. So the 3-1 record, take it with a grain of salt. Because 10th in points again. So that's the story on the record. But we're all putting respect where it's due, moving him up a little bit. Reed, I'll start with you if you want to touch on Sandy a little bit.
Yeah, I don't have much else to say. His top end players are performing like top end players, and he's had a couple of players that are bouncing back that we weren't really expecting. I mean, after week 1, I said, did we rank him too low? Did we overlook what he had on his bench? And I think we have. I'm not saying I think he's a top end team, but this is, again, a team that got the second bye last year. And then, again, as Tyler put it delicately earlier, is working with a lot of the same foundation as the year prior. So I think this is a team we just ranked too low. And I think he's going to be pushing for a playoff spot, even if the points have not come yet. I do think that it all comes together and he does become a dangerous team, at least relatively dangerous, come playoff time or closer to the playoffs.
Yeah, Tyler?
I was just going to say, this feels like the year to own Bijan. I think he's looked so great so far, and there's potential running back 1 finish here for Bijan.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think there's ever going to be a bad year to own Bijan. But to your point, he has looked the best of his career so far. Getting into Schrader's team, no change here. 12th before the season, 12th now. Biggest story, keep it short and sweet. He's swapped with a pick swap in there. Derrick Henry for Chuba, and then got some future draft capital for Xavier Worthy. Sights look set on the future. He does have a lot of draft capital. Um, 2 firsts next year, 3 seconds next year, 2 firsts in 27. So the ammo's there. Probably going to have to wait a while. Um, Another big story is Jackson Dart is in the lineup and off taxi. Um, Seeing Jackson Dart have 10 rushing attempts in his first career start is a good sign. Rushing from fantasy quarterbacks is gold, and a lot of them looked designed. Whether he looked comfortable or not passing against the Chargers, having that rushing floor is huge. So getting him at the 108 at the time, I remember it's not what we were expecting, but so far, could argue should have been the pick at 107. Reed, Tyler,
I don't get what you mean by that.
You saying you should have picked him over Cam Ward?
in
Oh,
in hindsight, it was
well,
it was more a joke, but
I have nothing to say on Schrader. This is one of the worst fantasy lineups I've ever seen run out there. I feel for
yeah,
the guy. It's going to be a while till he gets his team back on the ground, but he's got to hit on his picks or hit on some trades, but he's not exactly the trade initiator. So team looks bad, but it's going to be on him to rebuild it, and I don't know. I don't know if the activity is there to get it done, so we'll see.
yeah. Don't have anything else to add.
all right. Sumner here, uh, pretty much the same all around. I've got him staying in seventh. Reed has him dropping 1 spot from seventh to eighth, and Tyler has him moving down 1 spot, sixth to seventh. Uh, Sumner, he's level-headed. His team's level-headed. His bench is level-headed. His record is level-headed. Uh, as Reed was saying, his team's just it's gonna be at 130, no more, no less. I don't know if you actually said that, but it's how, when he came on his episode, it's how he put it. He wants, floor guys on the bench, a lot of options, and that's what he has. He just lost Tyreek for the season. Um, and yeah, he's got the pieces to at least supplement some productivity in there. Um, yeah, this is definitely a team that's going to be able to, flirt with the playoffs, and it's not a team I would want to catch on the bye week, which I believe Reed said.
Yes. I
Yes.
Sumner is doing exactly what we thought he would. He is who we thought he was. He's a floor team that's going to give you hell if you have a bad week, but he's not going to be much of a threat if you put up a good week. He's 2-2. The 2 weeks he lost, his opponents put up a lot of points in 160 and 170. And the 2 weeks he won, his opponents put up less than 110. So he's going to put up 120 to 150 just about every week. He's going to give you hell if you're having a bad week, but he is exactly who we thought he was, and that's not always a bad thing. I think he's going to be right in the thick of the playoff race.
And Tyler?
Yeah, agreed there. I have the least unique thoughts now versus 4 weeks ago on Andrew's team, like compared to
Y-
the rest of the teams.
Yeah, I got you there. CMC has been a pleasant surprise, though. Well, maybe not surprise.
Surprise? Yeah.
Definitely, I didn't mean surprise. More or less, his whole situation, which seemingly right before the season was exactly how it was before 2024. And then since that last practice, the week before the game, like 3 days before, haven't heard a peep, and it's been everybody else in San Francisco. So glad to see CMC's back and healthy. Definitely the anchor of his team. He'd be a top 5 wide receiver, tight end, probably even a quarterback. So he's elite. Good piece to have. Getting into Trent's team, similar for everybody. I have him from ninth to 10th. Reed has him from 10th to 11th. Tyler stays at 8th. Um, Record-wise, 3-1. He's in the top half of the league, but similar to Sandy's team, it's the records. The points for isn't there. The points against towards the bottom of the league. So, but getting into his team, um, he lost Aaron Jones early. He just lost Cedric Tillman, which wasn't much of anything. Pacheco, who he was counting on, um, hasn't been good. Mike Evans on he's not on IR, but he's missing, 3 or 4 games. Pleasant surprises on his team. Quinshawn and Scadaboo actually look really good. Both of them do. And so those are good building blocks in the future. Shout out that when he fleeced me for T. Higgins, he's definitely winning that. Gets a first and the better player at least this season. What more can I say about his team? He's starting Xavier Scott and Cooper Rush now, so that kind of
That's just
speaks for
this week.
yeah. Oh yeah, he's got Jordan Love and JJ McCarthy out. Don't need to talk about his whole team, so I'll let you, Tyler, talk about it.
Yeah, I kept him at 8 mostly because Judkins and Scadaboo have been better than what my expectations were. Kind of short up Trent's running back room, which I think if I don't remember exactly what our thoughts were on it, but a mixed bag to say the least. And I do believe Bowers and Devontae Smith will get going here for the rest of the season. So I maintained him at 8. He's 3-1 right now. I've seen enough to believe he can stay in that 8 spot.
Yeah, Reed.
Yeah, I before the Fields trade, I was as on this slide, I wanted to amend my rankings. I have Tyler at 10 and Trent at 11. I want to flip them, and now after the Fields trades, I definitely want to flip them. Um, obviously had some bad luck this year with injuries. Got hit with a few bye weeks. Again, you're starting Xavier Scott. It's just not a good situation right now. But at the same time, I do think he has some pieces. I mean, he's 3-1. This is the biggest one for me where the record doesn't reflect the quality of the team, I think. But he also has at the same time has been doing this with major underperformance with his best piece in Brock Bowers. So I don't think he's I don't think he's a I don't think he's a free win by any means, but is not the team that strikes a lot of fear into my heart right now.
Yeah. Another big thing is I don't uh Tyler, you said about Brock and Smitty getting going. The thing for me, I believe in Brock. It's just with starting 2 Eagles pass catchers right now, which he's been doing every week, uh, isn't for me. You're lucky if you get one person on the entire team to have a good game, let alone when you're counting on two. It's a big knockoff for me.
Well,
So
I mean, Goddard's been the only one of their pass catchers that's actually been good, which is weird. Like he's been in double digits all 3 games, and he's caught three
yeah,
touchdowns. So especially in a tight end premium league, I trashed on him. He could be someone you want to start among Eagles pass catchers, but yeah, we'll see how it is going forward.
and Tyler, did you already talk?
Yeah, I
Okay,
get my thoughts.
cool. All right, and Tyler here. Sad to see, sad to say. We've all got him moving down. I've got him moving down from 8th to 11th. Reed's got him from 9th to 11th. Tyler's got him from 9th to 11th as himself, 9th to 11th. Tyler, I'll let you start here. Just why do you got yourself moving down? Why do you think you're at the, bottom of the league right now?
I mean, I feel like I'm the only one right now who's super willing to sell off pieces besides Schrader. I'll give him his credit, but I don't know if that's him as much as it is other people reaching out. Um, no, my team's not good right now. I've come to terms with it. My only hope for the rest of the season is I would love to see some of my younger players, my rookies this year, show flashes, give me a reason to keep them on the roster next year and hopefully take another step forward. So it is what it is. I'm kind of a layup. I'm still going to obviously put out what I hope to be a winning lineup, but if it's not, it's fine. I still like, I don't know, I kind of like the I like being on the other end of the coin. It's stressful fighting for a playoff spot. I'm not saying I don't ever want to be in the playoffs, but I feel like I don't mind the low stress. Does that make any sense?
Sounds like you
Yeah,
should just stop playing
yeah,
fantasy football. I
Yeah,
mean, the
I know
grind,
that's
the stress of the playoffs is what you do it for, you know?
I know, but it's easier. It's like when you come to terms with you're fighting an uphill battle, it's a lot easier to accept the results. Whereas, like, if I was still expecting to make the playoffs, it's a lot harder to take an L 2 out of every 3 weeks if that happens. So I'm fine with where I'm at right now.
yeah. I think a win, like you said, a win for you would, I mean, getting a top three pick, like you said, you've got three firsts, and all three of the firsts are top four picks right now. And then
One in threes.
yeah, and then seeing guys like you said, Jaden Blue, Kyle Williams, and if you get any of like those type guys that break out, Alec Iomanor, Cam Ward,
Tavian.
Bill,
Yeah.
yeah. So like that's where the fun lies. Uh, and then you're a good manager, so you'll
Thank you.
be, I mean, you could easily f flip this in a year. I mean, I have to scroll to see all your draft picks, which is
Yeah.
disgusting. I can still see my starting lineup in my draft picks.
If the league
Um,
folds before 2029, I'll be pissed.
but yeah, so you're for where you're at, I think you're in a good spot. Um, uh, yeah, like I was saying to you yesterday off camera, I don't want to be in this position, but I would have a lot of fun being in this position.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And that's all that matters. What are you doing it for? Are you having fun?
Yep.
And if you can check both those boxes, you're good with me. Reed?
I mean, he traded away the future face of his franchise in Justin Fields an
Come
hour
on.
ago, according to him. But other than that, yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. Was a lower end team to start, and then has not helped himself this season with his trades, but is setting
Well,
himself nicely after 2025.
I wouldn't say I've only made one trade. I'd say what's not helping me is the old guys being hurt. Joe Mixon, James Conner, Terry.
Yeah, that's fair. But they are old guys for a reason, you know.
Yeah.
I
As long as Terry's still on the team, so I don't have to change your mascot here on the slide, we'll be okay.
Okay.
I I'm not gonna you don't have to answer this, but well, I'll ask Reed, actually. That'll be better. Reed, give a percentage chance that when we open the 2026 season, that Trey McBride is on the day one in the day one lineup.
For Tyler,
Yeah.
like 80% plus,
Okay.
if at least 80%.
Okay. Interesting. All right. These are the full power rankings. You guys pause the video, take a screenshot, do whatever you want to do. But from left to right, we have my 1 through 12 reads and Tyler's, and then the consensus between the three of us. Um, the big takeaways here are when you go to the consensus, um, the top six and the bottom six are evenly split, and that reflects throughout our individual rankings. There's for us at least, there's clear tiers here. Um, Probably, honestly, only three tiers. I'm not sure personally there's a clear favorite anymore, just how the season's played out so far. But you guys have any thoughts about the full power rankings?
Yeah, I think you mentioned it. There's like for me, the top six is a clear tier break, and then I think 12 is a clear tier, and then 7 through 11 are kind of all similar. So I also think in defense, not defense, but like to back up Cam Thorne, if like Ian was performing like Cam Thorne is, we'd just be like, okay, yeah, the league might be over this year. So
Yes.
I do think we need to give Cam Thorne some flowers, even if we don't think he's going to continue to be the league's top scorer. We definitely have to give him a hat tip for how he's performed through a quarter of the season. So, uh, yeah, three tiers for me. Really fun that there's nobody that feels like the obvious favorite right now.
Yes. Tyler, any thoughts on these?
I was just not an obvious favorite, but Rob is. I had him at one, and I don't want to say he'd be in his own tier. We've
No,
already
not
done that.
again.
No,
Not
no, I'm
again.
saying not that.
Last
But
time he's at 6 now.
his team has been very good.
Yeah, the only thing I like shouting Rob out. I have him at one too. Somebody has to be one. The only difference for me from, having him in a favorite is the lack of like it's really the starting lineup. And if anything happens, like if he lost JSN for the season, I'm not sure what I know he's got draft capital,
That's
right? But
crazy. What if?
I know, I'm just saying, like it's really just the starting lineup. That's what separates the him from being a favorite for me. Like if he had one guy at each position that he could throw in a pinch, then we're talking favorite, in my opinion.
You're
But
describing why I have Deshaun at number one because he can absorb an injury at any position right now and still be a top 3 or 4 team.
so he's a favorite. Is he a favorite to you? I'm at
No,
just
no, he's not a favorite because I agree. I think Rob's starting lineup pound for pound is better than his, but I think that again over the course of a season to manage buys, to manage injuries, that
yeah,
Deshaun's team is set up better over the long haul. But when we get to the playoffs, it could be someone that their starting lineups are close, but I would take Rob. By the time we get to the playoffs, it could be a situation where I think Rob is better once buys are gone and we know who's healthy and who's not.
yeah. All right, Phyllis. Well, that has been a fun one. This is our double upload of the week. Expect these after every 4 weeks. So the next one will be post week 8, pre week 9. And we'll be doing the same thing. We'll start with, some segment we'll come up with, and then another uh, updated tiers or updated power rankings. So that was fun. Um, Always nice to do this, see where our heads were and see where our heads are at now. Uh, Maybe we'll get another live trade from Reed next time when he's trading for Daniel Jones and finally sucks it up.
Over
Um,
my dead body.
but yeah, anything else from you guys?
Tyler,
I'm good.
awesome. Well, wrap up our first power rankings. We'll see you for our mid-season episode for power rankings in about 4 weeks, and we'll see you next time.